Good Sunday afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the McMillan Center for Community Engagement, where we are bringing you live action of the ACAA women's basketball season between the Crandall Chargers and the Holland College Hurricanes. Second day in a row these two teams have played, and your Crandall Chargers up on the screen. Key player to watch, Kelsey Allward. Had a relatively quiet day by her standards yesterday, but is essentially averaging a double-double on the season with points and rebounds. And your starting lineup for the Hurricanes. on the screen now. Again, second day in a row that Carissa George entered into the starting lineup in favor of the defending player of the year, Alexa Rancourt, who's battling some health issues. Lauren Armstrong and Amy Plaganoff had some strong games yesterday, but it was Nikiva Brown off the bench who was a spark plug in an 82-47 Hurricane win yesterday. These two teams come into this game at opposite ends of the standings, and we'll talk lots more about the standings as this afternoon goes on. Lots of movement happening on both the men's and women's side of the basketball standings over the last 24 hours, with more potential for movement today. But Holland College coming into this one tied with Mount St. Vincent for first place in the ACAA, while Crandall comes in 1-12, currently sitting in last, but certainly not a team to be counted out. They picked up their first win of the season last weekend as the Hurricanes gained the first possession off the tip-off win by Lauren Armstrong, who has the ball now for the Hurricanes. Back for Amy Plaganoff for three, off the front of the rim, and Taya Talbot there for the rebound. Resets it for the Hurricanes. Here's George finding a lane, loses the handle on the ball, and it's Allward with the steal. And Mackenzie Chapman comes back with it for Crandall, one of a trio of fourth-year players on this team. Down low for Randy Ross, and Ross opens the scoring for Crandall. So already with an early lead here. They did not have a lead yesterday. As Armstrong goes up for three, off the backboard, and Molly Stedman tips the rebound to Plaganoff. What a nice play there by Stedman. Armstrong in on Ross, draws the foul. So a couple of second chance opportunities for the Hurricanes off some nice rebounding. Taya Talbot on the first possession and Stedman on this one. Armstrong 1 for 1. Still in the opening minute of action here. Armstrong can't get the second one. Plaganoff does well to get a hand on the rebound, but it's out of bounds. So it will be Crandall ball with a 2-1 lead here. Long inbound pass, almost up to half court to Allward. Good pressure applied by George defensively there. Audrey Gaylord goes behind the back and turns it over. Talbot with the steal, gets it over to George. George, who applied the pressure that forced the turnover. Armstrong now. Plaganoff down low for George. She runs the baseline and turns it over to Chapman. Was looking for Stedman in the opposite corner. Gaylord now. Around the horn, turned over again. Talbot with another steal early on here. And she is unimpeded to the hoop and can't get the layup to go, and Stedman bats the rebound out of bounds. So some early miscues here by the Hurricanes as we get our first substitution of the game. Talking with Hurricanes head coach Chris Connolly before the game, he mentioned that what he wants to see from his squad this afternoon is focus. Mentioned that they did an extremely good job forcing turnovers defensively yesterday, and if they can stay locked in defensively like they were yesterday, he likes their chances of success again today. But it's a foul called on Taya Talbot down low on Randy Ross. Another thing Connolly mentioned was the size advantage that Crandall has in this one. Certainly with 5'11" Allward and 5'11" Ross in the game. As Ross hits the back of the rim on her first attempt. You also have Mackenzie Chapman in the starting lineup at 5'11". And a foul line violation for Ross. Looked like she was close on the first one as well, but the refs saw it that time. And Armstrong with the ball now. George cutting to the middle, swatted away by Ross as George couldn't handle the pass by Armstrong. Pass into the middle. Armstrong got a hand on that, but it goes right to Ross, who now kicks it out for Carr. Down low for Ross, watched there by Plaganoff. Height mismatch down low there for the Chargers, and Chapman goes in and gets the hoop and the harm. I believe that's going to be Carissa George getting called for the foul. So not quite the start that Connolly and the Hurricanes were looking for here. Just over 2 minutes into the game. And the Chargers with a 4-1 lead. Another rebound there by Molly Stedman. Armstrong running point. Finds a lane, kicks it out to Talbot. Talbot all the way back up for Plaganoff. That's over her head and out of bounds. So another unforced error by Holland College. The Chargers take over in the backcourt. Quickly up into the offensive court. That's Lauren Lilly. Lauren Lilly, rookie from Summerside. Allward has her pocket picked there by George, who's had a couple of nice defensive plays early on here. Stedman in on Carr, and Stedman gets the layup. Boy, that's Molly Stedman's office on the offensive zone, right underneath the basket. Stedman now, Chapman gets past her. And Plaganoff looking to draw the charge. Talbot will rebound, though, as the shot by Chapman fell well short. Armstrong leaves it for Talbot now. 1 point Crandall lead, just about 3 minutes in. George in on Chapman. Tries to get around her. Chapman going to get called for a foul. Still a 1 point Crandall lead. Holland with 14 on the shot clock here. Bounce pass inbounds to Stedman. Armstrong baseline jumper, gets that to go. And Lauren Armstrong gives Holland their first lead of the game. And another good turnover forced by Carissa George. And she capitalizes on that. And we mentioned Connolly wants to see a good defensive effort here from his Hurricanes like he did yesterday. And Carissa George certainly a catalyst of a lot of that so far. Still more pressure being applied by George there. Once Allward, she's watched very closely by Armstrong. Now has a little bit of space as she takes the pass. Walks in, misses the shot though, and Armstrong takes the rebound. And she'll look to answer again for Holland. Armstrong comes into this game 5th in league in rebounding. Allward is 1st in the league in rebounds. Talbot thought about 3, swings it all the way over, intercepted by Carr. Armstrong was at the corner of the 3-point line. And Carr, good defense again by the Canes as Plaganoff picks her pocket. But it's untouched by the Chargers and out of bounds. And we get a pair of substitutions now. Isabel McGagan back into the lineup. She sat out yesterday. And Nikiva Brown, who I mentioned off the top, was a spark plug all over the stats sheet for Holland College in yesterday's 35-point win. Shot goes up by Chapman off the side of the backboard. Would have been a 3-point attempt. And they're going to say that's off Carr and out of bounds. Looked like a couple of players were battling for it there, including Carr and Brown. And Brown now will inbound to Talbot. Armstrong directing traffic, wants some movement. Has Brown underneath the net, threads the needle to Brown, who draws the foul. What a great pass by Armstrong, getting it just past the reach of Kelsey Allward. Brown good on her first free throw. Mentioned her all over the stats sheet yesterday. We'll get to that in a moment. She goes 2 for 2 from the line. Brown was 2 steals away from a triple-double. Had 18 points yesterday. Good defensive pressure there by Talbot. Stedman prevented the pass from going to Chapman. Now it goes in, and there's Nikiva Brown right on cue with a steal. Leaves it there for Armstrong. She steps back for 3. That's off the side of the backboard. And Stedman and Chapman battle for it there, and I believe the jump ball will be awarded to Crandall. Chapman looking to inbound, gets it over the top for Carr. Again, good defensive pressure in the defensive court, in the offensive court by Holland College. Carr with it now. Some confusion there with Allward, and Allward steps on the sideline. Looked like Carr was expecting a screen, and Allward was expecting to swing around. Allward ended up with the ball and out of bounds. Canes with a 5-point lead now as we approach the 5-minute mark, halfway mark of the first quarter. Chapman almost jumped that pass for Stedman. Armstrong back up top for Talbot. Good quick ball movement here by the Hurricanes. Armstrong back at the top. Looking for some movement. Gets it into the middle to McGagan. She swings it out low for Stedman, and Stedman couldn't handle the pass at her feet. Mentioned McGagan didn't play yesterday, dealing with some minor health issues, but back in the lineup today. Hurricanes still without defending player of the year, Alexa Rancourt, but we'll talk a little bit about Rancourt as this game goes on. She's in the top 5 in the conference in a handful of categories. Carr now looking to get past Brown. McGagan steps in the way, fighting for the rebound, and the jump ball this time will go to Holland College. And it's worth noting that Rancourt, despite not being in the lineup yesterday or today, has still been very active in the action, moving herself up and down the bench from seat to seat, talking to coaches and teammates, and she was the one to give the pregame speech in the huddle on court before the game. So still heavily involved in this game is Alexa Rancourt, despite not being in uniform. McGagan steps around the Chargers' defense and takes the foul, hard foul from Randy Ross. It was a long 2-point attempt, and McGagan will go to the line for 2. As we get Ella Thorne into the game now. That's the second foul on Ross already, just over halfway through the first quarter. And with Ross to the sideline now with 2 fouls in this one. Mentioned Chris Connolly talking about the size that Crandall has to their advantage. As McGagan cashes in, and it's a 7-point Holland lead. And a timeout called by Crandall. So we head into this timeout with 4:27 left in the first quarter. Holland up 11-4. Not lighting it up yet, but still forcing some good pressure on the defensive side and creating some turnovers. And mentioned off the top, that's what Connolly wants to see from his squad today. And mentioned the standings. Holland College comes into this one tied with Mount St. Vincent for first place. Mount St. Vincent has the day off today, I believe, so a win today would move Holland temporarily into sole possession of first place, and also importantly would give them a 2-game cushion over Mount Allison, who after today will have 2 games in hand on the Hurricanes. But why is that important? Well, Mount Allison comes here for a pair of games next weekend, Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon at 2 and 1 respectively. So a very important game here for Holland College. And Crandall, yes, they're currently sitting in last place at 1-12, but a win here would move them into a tie with UNBSJ for what I believe would be the last playoff spot in the conference. So still a chance for Crandall to sneak in late in the season here, despite only getting their first win last weekend. And Connolly mentioned before the game last weekend, that split against St. Thomas here that Holland had. It was a good win on Saturday, but kind of a messy loss on Sunday, and that's something that he knows the girls have been thinking about this week, and have been thinking about over the last handful of hours since yesterday's game. Looking to sweep the season series against Crandall with a win today. They have a 7-point lead, but leads can vanish quickly in the ACAA, as those of you who are watching are likely familiar with. Bounce pass inbound to Allward. Here's Ella Thorne. Thought about 3. Trying to get around McGagan. Underhand shot doesn't go, and it's George back the other way. Gets it ahead to Allie Forbes. Forbes for Armstrong. Kicks it over to McGagan. McGagan 3-point shot. And you could tell from my angle up here that was going to be good all the way. Had to wait for it to rattle around the rim, though, but McGagan makes good on the 3-pointer, and Holland has a 10-point lead. And George, once again, Carissa George all over the place defensively so far in the opening 6 minutes and change of this one. relatively young Crandall lineup. Just doing a quick scan. 4 freshmen on the court for Crandall right now, as Forbes battles Lilly for the rebound. Lilly comes away with it, gets it to Thorne. Thorne three-pointer off the side of the rim, rebounded by Brown. Brown quickly back the other way, trying to find Armstrong. Armstrong looked like she was going to have a wide open lane to the net, but the pass just over her hands. Megan Fisher inbounds to the only non-rookie on the court for Crandall right now. That's Ellie Hiltz in her third year at Yarmouth. She falls under the net. And Hiltz kicks the ball towards her own bench, and that will result in a turnover for Holland College, and I believe that was a warning issued to the Crandall coach by the officials during that stoppage. Armstrong into the middle for Forbes. She couldn't handle the pass. And now Hiltz back the other way for Crandall. That's Ellie Hiltz, whose sister Janaea also on the court. But it's Brown. And that will be ruled, I believe, an intentional foul. Unsportsmanlike, excuse me, on Ella Thorne. And that puts the bonus into effect for Holland College. And Brown will go to the line for 2 to extend the 10-point lead. Brown good on her first attempt. And because it's an unsportsmanlike foul, she will get 2 shots. And I believe Holland will take possession after. Can't make the second one. And now Holland will have 14 seconds on the shot clock. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Armstrong inbounds to George. Armstrong couldn't handle that pass. Once again, Armstrong would have been wide open to the net, but just passed just out of her, in and out of her hands. And foul there by McGagan, reaching in on Thorne. And the Canes now 1 foul away from putting the bonus in effect for Crandall. This is Hiltz. Over to Chapman. Chapman down low for Hiltz. Hiltz blocked there by Forbes. Good defensive play by Ali Forbes, the freshman. And now Armstrong, and Chapman did well to get in the way. And Brown goes up, almost gets the shot to go, but draws another foul. As once again, Nikiva Brown making things happen off the bench here for Holland. And a technical foul issued to the Crandall coach, Allie Berry. Brown once again finds her sweet spot on the first free throw. She'll look to cash in on this one to expand the Hurricane lead. She'll have another shot here again because of the technical. 2 for 3 from the line, and it's a 13-point Holland lead. Crandall still at 4 points. As that pass bounces out of Chapman's hands, but right to Gaylord, her teammate. Now it's Janaea Hiltz looking to get around Plaganoff, loses the dribble, goes up with a shot. Hits a awkward part of the backboard. Now Brown very quickly back the other way. Lost the handle on it. Great effort by Brown to try and keep that ball in play. And more substitutions here. Fisher up ahead to Hiltz. Hiltz trying to get around McGagan. McGagan's got to be careful there not to get a foul, and the Pass to Allward, and for the first time in at least several minutes, Crandall on the board. That was Kelsey Allward on a second chance attempt. Forbes, back up top for McGagan. Down low for Brown. Back up top for McGagan. And McGagan, once again, Hurricanes unable to handle some of these passes. You're going to say that's off Crandall and out of bounds. So 8 on the shot clock here. Hurricanes with it in the offensive zone. McGagan all the way up top for Stedman. Plaganoff, quick release 3 off the side of the rim. And the rebound controlled by Brown. McGagan now, she'll go up for 3. And that's off the side of the rim, and that will bounce harmlessly out of play. And with 1:12 left in the first quarter, Holland with an 11-point lead. And that was 6 minutes and 14 seconds without a basket by Crandall. But they have possession now, looking to get back on the scoreboard again and cut into this Holland lead. And Allie Forbes will give him a chance to do just that. A little too aggressive on the defense there. And with exactly 60 seconds left, Mackenzie Chapman will go to the line with 2 opportunities to cut into this 11-point Hurricane lead. Nothing but net for Chapman on the first one, as the Canes now lead by 10. Chapman wide right on the second attempt, and Stedman will bring the ball up the court for Holland College. Leaves it there for Forbes. Thought maybe about a long 3. Now she'll leave it up top for McGagan. And we're going to get a foul on, I believe, on Allie Forbes for a moving screen. Second foul on her in short order. Bonus in effect, but because of the offensive foul, no shots will be awarded. As Hiltz back the other way for Crandall. Chapman poked out there by Brown. And she had 8 steals in yesterday's game. And Chapman dribbles it off of Forbes and out of bounds. Armstrong back in for Forbes. Chapman bounce pass in for Lauren Lilly. Up top for Gaylord. Trying to get around Plaganoff. Bounce pass for Chapman off the side of the rim, and Armstrong with good positioning on Allward there for the rebound. About a 2-second difference between game clock and shot clock. McGagan off the side of the rim, and Brown out of nowhere comes crashing in to take that rebound away. One-hand pass to Stedman, swings it around for Plaganoff. All the way over across the court to Armstrong. She cuts in and gets a layup. And with 5 seconds left, no shot clock, Brown forces a turnover, and she'll go up, and refs are going to say she didn't get the shot up. But what a nice hustle play by Brown to at least force the turnover and prevent another Crandall chance in that quarter. Flurry of action to end the quarter, but Holland with a 19-7 lead. We'll step aside for a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the second quarter here in Charlottetown. And welcome back as we get set for the second quarter. Again, Holland College up 19-7. There are your first quarter stats. Pretty even in most categories, but free throw percentage and rebounding definitely swinging heavily in favor of the hometown Hurricanes. 12-2 are the rebounds through one quarter. Holland College has capitalized on a couple of second chance opportunities. As the Chargers will have first possession here in the second quarter. Lauren Lilly from just past the free throw line cuts the lead to 10 early on in the second quarter. Armstrong looking for some movement. Finds Plaganoff. Plaganoff leaves it for Armstrong. Armstrong watched closely by Tarvinder Carr. Armstrong bounce pass. Nice find for Plaganoff. Blocked there by Allward. Plaganoff still with it. Shot clock winding down, and finally it's Carr forcing another turnover. 10 turnovers apiece in that first quarter. Swing pass down for Lilly, and it bounces away from her, but that was because Miriam El-Shanoufi got a hand on her arm. Chapman swings it up top for Lilly. Carr. Allward at the corner of the key. Trying to protect an Armstrong. Big block by Lauren Armstrong. And Armstrong follows the screen set by Stedman. Armstrong had about 4 Chargers watching her get that shot off, but we'll call it a lazy jump ball there by Chapman and Stedman, both just waiting for the whistle to go. Holland will keep possession here with 10 on the shot clock to work with. Over the top for Stedman. Right back down low for Armstrong. Armstrong muscles that pass over to El-Shanoufi. Did not see what the call was, but the officials rule it a turnover nonetheless. And Carr with it, watched by Nikiva Brown. Brown almost poked that away from her again. That's Gaylord up for 3. Cashes in. And look out, it's a 5-0 run by Crandall to start the quarter. Armstrong gets around Gaylord, looking for someone. Trying to find El-Shanoufi. Finds its way into her. Stedman from the top of the key. Around the rim and out. Stedman crashes the board, gets her own rebound. Plaganoff floater shot goes up, no good. And it's another rebound attempt, and Stedman maybe just a little too aggressive on that. Just under 2 minutes into the second quarter. Holland with a 7-point lead over the 1-12 Crandall Chargers. And a win here today would move Holland temporarily into sole possession of first place. Stedman called for the foul there. That's her second in a few moments here. Pair of substitutions for Holland here. Again, Stedman up to 2 fouls very quickly here in the second quarter. Important defensive player for the Hurricanes is Molly Stedman, and Carissa George has been a force defensively here today. She applied the pressure on Lilly there, but it's Allward trying to spin around Armstrong, and second time in a row, Allward's gone up and gotten blocked by Armstrong. Armstrong gets around Chapman, puts a shot up off the side of the net, and Brown forces a jump ball. That will, I believe, go to Crandall on the jump ball possession. Carr will run point for the Chargers. Swinging it down to Gaylord. Gaylord, another 3. 2 for 2 is Gaylord in the quarter. And all of a sudden, the Holland lead has shrunk to 2. Long pass ahead for McGagan. Trying to get around Allward. Draws the foul. And they're going to call that a shooting foul. Subs for both teams. Allward up to 2 fouls again. McGagan gets a friendly bounce off the front of the rim. bring the lead back up to 5. And McGagan, 2 for 2, gives the Canes a 6-point lead. Pressure being applied here defensively, but Carr unimpeded up to center, and it's Chapman quickly over to DeRush. Back up for Lily. That pass out of her hands, and it's Talbot who secures it for the Hurricanes. Down low to Brown, right back up to Talbot. George now for McGagan. Into the corner. That's off the hand of Gaylord, but got to Brown. Talbot with it again. Now McGagan, 10 on the shot clock. McGagan for 3. That's off the backboard, and Chapman has the rebound for the Chargers. Tarvinder Carr up ahead for the Chargers. DeRush trying to get around McGagan. All the way back up top for Chapman, who still has her dribble. Now uses it, trying to get around Brown. Muscles her way in. Can't get the shot off, and you're going to say that Chapman knocks that out of bounds. And 6.5 minutes left before halftime. Holland with a 6-point lead. Brown for 3. Well wide, and the rebound secured by Carr, and I think we're going to get a foul called on Carissa George. Looked like she knocked Carr off balance, crashing in for the rebound opportunity. Holland already up to 4 fouls in the quarter. And good active hands by George getting in the passing lane there. Again, she's been all over the place on the defensive court here for Holland College. Crandall still with possession, though. Inbound to Lauren Lilly. Watched very closely by Taya Talbot. Bounces away to Carr. 3-point shot goes up off the rim, and DeRush crashes the rebound. Loses the handle on it, and it's Armstrong who muscles it away from DeRush. And Armstrong down low for George. Gets around Gaylord. Layup by George. Goes in and restores an 8-point Hurricane lead. Now it's Chapman, watched by Stedman. Stedman again with that long reach getting in the passing lanes, but it is Lilly who secures the pass. Lilly harassed there by Brown, and we're going to get a quick jump ball called thanks to the pressure applied by Brown, and that will result in a turnover and Hurricane ball. Again, Crandall not shy to roll through the substitutions pretty much at every stoppage here. We saw that a lot yesterday, keeping fresh legs constantly going into the court. Here's Armstrong for Brown. Stedman now. Lost control of it. Armstrong there to pick it up. Thought about maybe a 3-point shot. Crosses over Carr. Puts up a shot off the backboard, and Gaylord has the rebound. And now it's Gaylord back for Fisher. It's Megan Fisher. Gets it to DeRush. DeRush wanted Chapman cutting through the middle, but again, Stedman, a good defensive presence there. Carr unimpeded to the rim. A little bit of pressure applied on the shot. She gets her own rebound, though, goes up, second chance opportunity doesn't go. Fisher, underhand pass to Carr. 3-point shot goes up, and Tarvinder Carr cuts the lead back down to 5. And we'll get a timeout called by Holland College with 4:44 left before the half. Holland nursing a 5-point lead as a trio of 3-pointers in the second quarter by Crandall here have really cut into this lead. And Crandall jumped up early to a 4-1 lead before Holland College came storming back to lead 17-4 at one point. But a 14-6 run by the Chargers, including 11-4 here in the second quarter. Again, thanks to 3 3-pointers. It's interesting. It's Lauren Armstrong doing much of the talking during the timeout for the Hurricanes. Again, our vantage point a few feet above where your camera angle is looking at. We're located on the walking track on the upper level of the gymnasium. Your camera located on the top of the stands in the lower section. Holland College tied for first in the ACAA with Mount St. Vincent right now, but the team who's chasing both of them, Mount Allison, will be here next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, for a pair of very important games. And this game still important for Holland College. As I mentioned earlier, a win here would give them a 2-game cushion on Mount Allison going into those back-to-back matchups right here next weekend. Lots of time left in this one, 4.5 minutes before halftime. Brown looking for George, but that's picked off by Chapman. Chapman swings it to Gaylord. Gaylord, another 3 attempt. That's off the rim, and Armstrong takes the rebound, but I think we're going to get a foul on Megan Fisher. So possession will stay with the Hurricanes. Talbot inbounds to Armstrong. Armstrong, the Australian, high up on a lot of the statistics in the league this year. This year's Carissa George. Swings it into the corner. That's out of the reach of Armstrong, off her hand, and out of play. And again, another unforced error. And the Hurricanes will concede half court this time around. Talbot almost got a hand in that passing lane. Johnson with it now. Or excuse me, that's Fisher. Fisher for Carr. Carr back out for Fisher. Down low to Carr. Watched by McGagan. Carr spins and shoots. And again, the lead cut down to 3. So good second quarter here by Crandall. As Holland looking to find some momentum here in the offensive court. Armstrong loses the dribble, bounce pass for McGagan. McGagan uses her dribble now, kicks it out for Plaganoff. Shot clock winding down. Plaganoff off balance shot, gets off the rim. Good rebound by Stedman and good presence of mind to get it to Plaganoff. That baseline jumper doesn't go. So a couple of misses by Holland there. Fisher down low quickly for DeRush. Gets around Plaganoff. What a fake there by DeRush. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-point game. It's a 15-4 quarter right now in favor of Crandall, who now trail by 1. Plaganoff turns and shoots, and Amy Plaganoff. That's not someone you want heating up from beyond the arc. 2 weekends ago, she tied a school record with 7 3-pointers in a game. Among the lead leaders in 3-point percentage, turnover forced by Armstrong and Talbot, and it's Talbot with an uncontested layup. And shortly after leading only by 1, the Hurricanes bump it right back up to 6. DeRush in on Plaganoff. Armstrong and Audrey Gaylord has caught fire here in the second quarter. Responding a 3 with a 3. Armstrong gets around her. Gets up, two-handed layup. Unorthodox shot, but it worked for Armstrong. Securing it home to restore that 5-point lead as we hit 2 minutes before halftime. Carr going up for another 3. And the teams trading blows here. It's a 2-point Hurricane lead as the Chargers shooters have caught fire. Action reaching a frenzied pace here. McGagan falls. Somehow gets the pass over to Stedman. Can't get the shot to go and draws a foul on the rebound. Great effort there by Stedman on the rebound attempt. Again, a frantic pace in the last couple of minutes here. Just over 90 seconds left before halftime. Not a shooting foul, so Holland will keep possession here. Inbound to Stedman, who forced the foul with the rebound. Talbot thought about a 3, now gets it down low for Armstrong. She spins and shoots, can't get the roll, looking for a foul called. Looked like she took some contact to the head there. And Gaylord, another 3, that one well short, and Stedman will be content to let that one bounce out of play. as Talbot will bring the ball ahead for the Hurricanes. Just over a minute to play before halftime. Talbot in for Robin Driscoll. Swings it over to Armstrong. Armstrong now finds a little bit of space, works the give and go to Driscoll, just out of her reach. And it's another turnover for Holland. 2-point lead for the Hurricanes. 1:04 left before halftime. Carr with it now. A couple of big three-pointers for Carr in this quarter. Finds Lilly all alone past the defense. And we have a tie game in the final minute of the second quarter. After Holland led by as much as 12 to start the quarter. It's Driscoll. Wants a screen by Armstrong. Now swings it over to Talbot. 10 on the shot clock. Armstrong, and she will draw the foul that time on the shot. And she will go to the line for two with 31.6 seconds left in a tie game. Armstrong gives Hurricanes the lead once again. 23 points for Crandall in the quarter, though. But Armstrong goes 2 for 2. And it's a 2-point Holland lead. They will likely get another possession here with 26 seconds left. About a 6 or 7 second difference between shot clock and game clock. Carr somehow gets that one to go over Driscoll. And the Hurricanes, with a tie game once again, will look to have what is likely the final possession of the half. Driscoll out of the reach of Stedman. Plaganoff somehow keeps it in, but no one home. And with 3 seconds left, the Hurricanes turn it over again. And can Crandall take the lead with 3 seconds left in the quarter? It's Fisher to Carr. She'll put up a one-handed buzzer beater off the backboard. And believe it or not, folks, we have a tie game going into halftime. The first place Holland College Hurricanes tied with last place Crandall. And we might have a very exciting finish in the last 20 minutes. Tied going into halftime. An important game for both teams despite where they are in the standings. A lot at stake for both of them, with lots of movement potentially happening in the standings in the last few weeks of the ACAA season. We'll step aside for a few minutes and rejoin you for second half of play here live in Charlottetown. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're a couple of minutes away from the start of the third quarter, a tie game between Holland College and Crandall. There you see the stats through 20 minutes of play. Turnovers dead even, but a lot of Holland College's turnovers of the unforced nature. Crandall closing the gap in rebounds, but if you have a look at the free throw percentage, Crandall 1 for 5 from the free throw line. Holland shooting 12 of 15 as a team. So certainly a big impact in this game is the free throw shooting of both teams. Worth noting, Tarvinder Kaur of Crandall, game high 10 points. Molly Stedman for Holland, a game high 6 rebounds. Lauren Armstrong leads Holland with 9 points at the break. Worth noting, at that halftime break, for the first 5 minutes or so, Armstrong, Stedman, and Alexa Rancourt, who's not in the lineup today, had a nice long conversation on the bench before meeting up with the coaching staff and then heading into the dressing room. So we'll see what was said at halftime to galvanize these Hurricanes. Good rebound by Armstrong there, gets it to Plaganoff. Plaganoff up ahead to Talbot. Talbot, wide open lane, sees it, and a layup opportunity for Taya Talbot as she opens the scoring here in the second half and retakes the lead for the Hurricanes. And Carissa George, another turnover forced by Carissa George. She had a number of steals and defensive pressures in that first half. Forces one there. Now Stedman swings it down for Armstrong, changes direction, swings it over to George. George, three doesn't miss. Plaganoff does well to get the rebound, but couldn't hang on to it, and Crandall will look to answer the other way. Audrey Gaylord, who had 3 3-pointers in the second quarter. Carr had a couple, looking for another one off the side of the rim. Rebound over the head of Armstrong. And Lilly could have let that go, chose to keep it in play and turns it over to Stedman. Talbot now over the top for Armstrong. Armstrong swings it to George. And Plaganoff, quick release on the three off the back of the rim. Certainly a faster pace at both ends of the court for Holland here than what we saw to finish the first half off. Gaylord looking to get around Plaganoff. Does. Off-balance layup doesn't go. Allward can't handle the rebound, and Plaganoff secures it for Holland. Scrambly play at both ends. Armstrong wide open three for Lauren Armstrong. Into double digits with her first three-pointer of the game as Holland's lead is now 5. Chapman for Lilly. Lilly looking to get around Stedman in that long reach. Good switch there by Holland defensively. Allward with it now. She goes up with a shot that's well wide. Carr takes the rebound back for Lilly. 3-point shot off the back of the rim. Allward another rebound. Goes up with that one. Stedman knocks the rebound away to Talbot. Talbot back quickly. Gets around Chapman. Stripped by Lilly. Some great speed by Talbot there. Going end to end. And again, a fast pace. Maybe Holland looking to push that pace early on here in the second half. Armstrong looking for someone on the inbound. Finds Stedman. Long jumper. Rattles around the rim, and it's Allward. Battles with her own teammate Ross for the rebound. George came up with it and puts it home. So a miscue by the Crandall Chargers results in a basket for Carissa George, and the Hurricane lead is now 7. Ross muscles her way in on Plaganoff, and Plaganoff, I think, will be the guilty party on the foul. It will be Plaganoff. Again, a height mismatch between Randy Ross and Amy Plaganoff. And you can hear the Holland fans have activated the drum set here in the second half as Ross makes good on her first free throw attempt. And Ross goes 2 for 2. That noise brought to you by the Holland College football team, sporting the drum sets in the corner. As George to Armstrong, swings it back up top for Talbot. Talbot sees a lane, floater goes up. Took a little bit of contact after the shot, but the shot misses, and Crandall, no harm, no foul there. Talbot pressuring Carr. much to the delight of her bench. Ross goes up with the shot, goes up with a second opportunity, and I think we're going to get another foul on Plaganoff as Ross, using the body on Plaganoff. I don't think Plaganoff is a big fan of the call. But Ross, again, with a chance to cut into this lead here. And misses well wide and left on the free throw attempt. Can't complete the three-point play. And the Hurricanes will take over on the side court. Just over 3 minutes into the third quarter. Very fast-paced third quarter so far. Armstrong, that pass was almost behind her, but she corrals it, gets it to Talbot, swings it for Stedman. Stedman in tight for Talbot, and the foul I think is going to be on Tarvinder Kaur. Kaur was the guilty party on the foul, so Holland will keep possession here. Good defense by Crandall on the inbound, but Stedman does take over. Plaganoff turns and shoots the three. No one there for Crandall on the rebound. Talbot all alone. Now George takes that long pass from Armstrong, swings it back up top for Plaganoff. Plaganoff threw a couple of hands to Talbot. Armstrong puts up another three, and that rattles around the rim, and Chapman secures the rebound for Crandall. Still a three-point game. Lilly with it now for the Chargers. Looking to get over the top. Good team defense by Stedman and George to force the turnover. Armstrong almost lost the handle. Now does lose the handle, and it's Kaur. Gets it up ahead to Lilly the other way. And Lilly blocked by George. Again, Carissa George has been a stout defender in this game. Comes up with a big block. George was the one who knocked it out of bounds, so still Crandall ball here. And a couple substitutions incoming for Crandall. Ross takes the inbound up top quickly for Chapman, but George is right there to apply some quick pressure. Chapman loses the handle, gets an off-balance shot up, and somehow draws a foul. George called for the foul. Hurricanes coach Connolly doesn't like that. Alexa Rancourt on whiteboard duty on the sidelines for Holland College, drawing up plays for the Hurricanes. Again, the defending player of the year for the conference, not in lineup this weekend. And again, free throw shooting. Achilles heel for Crandall right now, but Chapman cashes in on the second. It's a 2-point Holland lead. Worth noting, Carissa George now up to 3 fouls here in the game as we approach the halfway mark of the third quarter. Brown with it in the corner. Back up top for Stedman. Swings it to Talbot. Quick swing over to Armstrong. All the way across for George. Carissa George for three. Rattles the rim and gets it home. And that opens up another 5-point lead. Holland unable to pull away here in the third quarter. And Mackenzie Chapman cashes in that layup to make it a 3-point game once again. Brown for Stedman, up top for Armstrong. Fakes the shot, now swings it to George. Another 3-point attempt for George, that's no good. Brown battling for the rebound and will be the benefactor of some traffic. Crandall knocks it out of bounds. Great effort by Nikiva Brown, outmuscling a couple of Crandall defenders. Armstrong, quick inbound to Brown, who will reset the offense for George. Swings it to Armstrong. And Lauren Armstrong, her second three-pointer of the quarter, opens up a 6-point lead at the midway mark of the quarter. Chapman Harassed there by George. Lost the handle, gets it back. Screen set there by Ross. Hiltz with it now. Swings it up top for Lily. Lily's shot from the top of the key. Cashes. That's a long 2-pointer for Lauren Lilly. Cuts the lead to 4. Once again, Holland unable to get a stop defensively after getting a hoop at the other end. Into the middle for Armstrong. Knocked away right to Talbot, though, and now George will crash in. Stedman, long range 2 off the rim. Good rebound by Brown. Back for Armstrong. And Lauren Armstrong heating up from beyond the arc. Brings it to a 7-point lead. She's got 3 3-pointers in the quarter. And Brown with a takeaway on the defensive end. That's the stop that Holland was looking for. Brown pulls up for 2. That's blocked by Chapman. And Hiltz will calm things down, bringing it back the other way, but trying to get around Brown. Lost the handle. And Brown going to get called for a reach there. Again, something that Brown and Talbot in particular are so good at is just getting their hand in the dribble. Brown's first foul of the game. Inbound for Lily, watched there by Brown. Bounces it to Gaylord. She had 3 3-pointers in the second quarter. Looks to take one here. That's off the side of the rim, rebounded by Forbes. And she will dish it to Brown. Brown coming in with speed. Now she pulls up. Sets it back up to the top for Forbes. Armstrong now. And Armstrong called for the travel. And she'll talk things over with Stedman as they reset here defensively now. Up by 7, 3.5 minutes left in the quarter. An eventful third quarter at both ends of the court. But Holland looking to try and pull away here. Up 7 after a tie game at the half. Gaylord for 3. Off the front of the rim, rebounded by DeRush. Lily, kind of a flat-footed 2-point shot by Lily, but it works. And the lead is cut to 5. Armstrong directing some traffic. Swings it to Forbes. Stedman with it now. Dishes it back for Armstrong. Long 2-point shot for Armstrong. A little long off the back of the rim. And now Hiltz will reset the offense to Fisher. Up ahead quickly looking for Lily. Lily watched there by Brown. Brown applying the pressure. Hiltz has it now. Watched by Talbot. And I believe that's going to be Molly Stedman called on the foul. And it is. So Hiltz will go to the line for 2. Pair of subs incoming for Holland College. 2:44 left in the quarter. 5-point Holland College lead. And a friendly roll there for Ellie Hiltz. Her first point of the game. And Hiltz goes 2 for 2, so Crandall improving on the free throw front, and that's allowing them to keep the gap as tight as they can. It's a 3-point game right now as Talbot lost the dribble, swings it to Brown. Brown had Forbes going through the middle, chooses to dish it to Plaganoff. Plaganoff looking for Brown down low, just out of her reach. And again, unforced errors, the story of the last couple quarters here for Holland College. 2.5 to go in the third quarter. Fisher dumps it off to Lily. Down low for Hiltz. Great active hands by Talbot in the passing lane. Swats that out of bounds. Fisher inbounds to Lily. Brown applying a ton of defensive pressure. Good battle there by the 2 players. George comes away with the rebound off the miss by Lily. And George quickly back the other way. In for the layup. That's blocked by Gaylord. Possession will stay with Holland. Now we got Kelsey Allward back in the game. So size in the favor of Crandall with Allward back on the court. The conference's leading rebounder coming into this game. Forbes swings it to Plaganoff. Plaganoff wants Talbot, now gives it to her. George, 10 on the shot clock now. Plaganoff thought about 3. Looking for a little room, gets it to George, who has a little room. Nice floater shot by Carissa George there. She's having herself a nice third quarter at both ends of the court. after standing out mostly defensively in the first half. That's Allward. Was open under the hoop. Cashes in there. Only her second basket of the game. And the lead once again closed to 3. Plaganoff. Long three-pointer off the backboard. Allward with the rebound there. Gets it to Hiltz. Hiltz with Brown sneaking up behind her. Nice feed for Lauren Lilly. And it's a 1-point game. Forbes, corner 3. Allie Forbes a little long. And Gaylord bobbles the rebound but gets it to Hiltz. Plaganoff applied some pressure on the rebound there. Forbes with the turnover as that pass was out of the reach of Allward. And now Brown will calm things down. Minute left in the third quarter. 1-point Holland lead. George sees a lane, takes it to the hoop, and draws the foul. Only the second foul on Crandall in the quarter, but it is a shooting foul, so George will go to the line for a pair of very important free throws here in the final minute of the third quarter in a 1-point game. Nothing but net for Carissa George. Restores a 2-point lead. Has another shot to extend it to 3. George, smooth as butter on both of her free throw attempts. Holland leads by 3. 45 seconds left in the quarter. Hiltz swatted there by Armstrong. And now Gaylord takes possession near the far sideline, and we're going to get a foul called on Lauren Armstrong, as it looked like her and Stedman were just about to force a turnover. First foul on Armstrong, and Allward to the line. Good bounce off the rim and backboard there. And this free throw can close the gap to 1 once again. Allward 2 for 2. And Holland leads 52-51. That pass through the hands of Plaganoff. And it's another unforced error turnover by the Hurricanes. And with 30 seconds left, Crandall has a chance to take the lead late in the third quarter. Megan Fisher, George got a hand on that dribble. And now Brown battling Sarah McCormick there. That pass goes over everyone. Hiltz, great hustle to keep it on the offensive court. And Brown knocks that out of bounds. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Game-saving play potentially by Ellie Hiltz there. McCormick bounces the inbound to Fisher. Fisher gets a long shot off, and that'll be a shot clock violation. 5.8 seconds left in the quarter. Holland with a 1-point lead. George trying to get over half court quickly, does. Armstrong lays it home at the buzzer. And an 11-point quarter by Lauren Armstrong has kept the Hurricanes in front as they will go into the final quarter with a 3-point lead over the Crandall Chargers. We'll step aside for a moment and rejoin you for the fourth quarter here in Charlottetown. Getting set for the fourth quarter here in Charlottetown on the campus of Holland College. Hometown Hurricanes clinging to a 3-point lead against the upstart Crandall Chargers. There you see your stats through 3 quarters. Again, free throw percentage closing the gap is Crandall in that quarter. Lots of turnovers in this game from both teams. Holland with a slight edge in rebounds. Worth noting that layup by Lauren Armstrong gives her 20 points on the game to go with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Carissa George doing it at both ends of the court for Holland College with 13 points in the game and applying a lot of pressure, creating a lot of turnovers defensively. There's Molly Stedman. Great feed by Amy Plaganoff. Stedman finishes the play, and it's a 5-point Hurricane lead early on in the fourth. Here's McCormick looking to answer. Off the rim. Stedman can't handle the rebound, and it's Chapman. Deposits that home. Cutting the lead once again to 3. This second half, every time Holland has gotten a basket, Crandall has gone down and answered. Plaganoff again finds Stedman streaking through the middle. Pass almost over the head of Plaganoff. Armstrong with 5 on the shot clock, looking for something. Now sees a lane. Gets to the free throw line, puts up a jumper. That's wide. And Crandall will take over down 3. Tarvinder Kaur fights off some pressure, gets it to DeRush. Now Allward. And it looked like she took a couple of steps there. Called for the travel. So Holland up 3, will have possession. That's Plaganoff with it now, swings it to Armstrong. Armstrong sees a crease, goes in on Allward, rattles around the rim. Stedman battling Chapman for the rebound. It's Chapman who comes away with it. So another stop by the Crandall Chargers defensively. As Chapman, once again, it's George applying all kinds of pressure. Almost got her hand in that passing lane twice. Chapman, jumper from the corner of the key. And the rebound secured by Plaganoff. Great box out by Plaganoff on the taller Tristan DeRush. Plaganoff up top for Talbot. Talbot, long 3. That's off the back of the rim. George battles for the rebound. DeRush knocks it out of harm's way for Crandall. Crosses half court. Tarvinder Kaur. Watched very closely by Taya Talbot. Plaganoff battling Allward. Long range jumper. Nobody home for Crandall on the rebound, and Armstrong calmly takes it away. And that just out of the reach of Stedman. It's 3 times now they've been looking for Stedman cutting through the middle of the key under the hoop. That time just out of her reach. Another unforced turnover. Lilly will bring it ahead for the Chargers. 7.5 to go. And Stedman got a hand on the dribble, but it bounces right to Allward, who promptly puts it right into the reach of Taya Talbot. Again, Holland very active in the passing lanes over the last 2 days against these Chargers. Allward, speaking of, Stedman using that long reach to her advantage. She forces a turnover. And it's Talbot. Backpedals, back to George. George for Plaganoff. Plaganoff comes in, floats it up. Can't get the shot to drop, but she'll go to the line for 2. Lauren Lilly called for the foul there. Now we get Randy Ross back in the game for Crandall. Last time she was in the game in the third quarter, they really looked to feed her the ball down low. Plaganoff good on the second attempt. Slow start offensively for both teams here in the fourth quarter. There's Ross. And George once again with the steal. She has been dynamite defensively today for the Hurricanes. Talbot swings it up top for Plaganoff, all the way into the corner for George. Quickly changes her direction and draws the foul. It's going to be on Ross. And Carissa will go to the line for 2. Will Carissa George, also a member of the Soccer Hurricanes. And George, again, nothing but net on each of her last 3 free throw attempts. And does not fall victim to the commentator curse as she gets that one to drop. Brings the lead up to 6. Home crowd starting to make some noise here for the Hurricanes. Allward from the free throw line. Can't get that to go, and Ross strips the rebound away from Armstrong. No one around to pick up the second rebound for Crandall, and Armstrong is away for the Canes. Back up top for George. Swings it to George. Into the corner. Plaganoff. Wide open 3. Falls short. Quiet game offensively for Plaganoff. Only 4 points. Lily, nice crossover there. Can't get the shot to go, and it's another rebound for Lauren Armstrong as she must be inching closer to a double-double at this point. Talbot's shot bounces off the rim, secured there by Allward. Lily has it under the rim, goes up. There's another rebound for Armstrong. That gives her 9 now in the game. One more rebound away from a double-double. Talbot sees a lane, takes it, goes up with a shot. Looks like she took some contact undetected. Great read by Plaganoff on the pass. She can't get the shot to go. Can't capitalize on the turnover, and it's Carr back the other way for the Chargers. 5.5 left in the fourth quarter. Physical game between these two teams. Nice steal there by Armstrong. And she will go in and draw the foul. Can't get the layup to go, but probably a good foul there by Carr. And Armstrong will be at the line for 2. 5:15 left in the fourth now. 3 fouls on the board in the quarter for Crandall. And the game's leading scorer, Lauren Armstrong, at the line. Armstrong up to 21 points in the game now. Armstrong gets a good bounce. 2 for 2, timeout called by Crandall. And again, a lot of these Holland College points coming off of turnovers that they are forcing. You got to think some of the conversation that head coach Chris Connolly is about to have with his squad is going to be limiting the turnovers in the offensive zone and staying active in the defensive zone. Carissa George has had an impressive game at both ends, as has Lauren Armstrong. And it'll be up to the defensive pressure of the Hurricanes to try and keep this 8-point lead intact before going down to look to extend it. Crandall will have possession coming out of the timeout. Important game for both teams in the standings. Again, a win moves Holland College into sole possession of first place. Currently in a tie with Mount St. Vincent, who beat Mount Allison yesterday in Halifax. Those 3 teams came into the weekend action all tied for first place. And again, it is worth noting that Mount Allison, off day today, but will be here in Charlottetown next weekend. Saturday at 2 o'clock, Sunday at 1 o'clock for the women's action. Audrey Gaylord with it for the Chargers. Swings it to Chapman. She's had a nice second half for the Chargers. In on Brown, and that's officially a double-double for Lauren Armstrong with that rebound. She's got 6 rebounds here in the second half, 10 on the game. To go with 22 points. That pass by Stedman, well out of the reach of Armstrong, and it's another turnover by the Hurricanes after getting a stop defensively. Over the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. That's Carr back up top for Chapman. It was at her feet. Chapman taking some contact for Brown, gets it to Carr, and a little too aggressive on the defense. And the foul on Taya Talbot and a warning issued to Chris Connolly, who didn't like the call. Talbot and Brown putting a lot of aggressive pressure on the double team on Carr there. Gaylord thinking about a three. Now swings it to Thorne. Thorne back to Gaylord. Shot clock winding down. Gaylord just throws one up. Well short of the net and harmlessly out of bounds. Armstrong all over the stat sheet here. 22 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals for the Australian. Thanks to Jordy, our crack statistician, up on the track here. And there's Armstrong, make that 24 points for Armstrong on the day. And it's a 10-point Holland lead. 4 minutes left. Bounce pass in for Carr. She gets an off-balance shot up. 11 rebounds for Armstrong now as she is taking over this fourth quarter. Nice feed for Molly Stedman. Have to wait and see how they rule that officially. Probably another assist going into the stat sheet for Armstrong on that one, who has by far been the player of the game for the Hurricanes. Again, taking over the fourth quarter. Swing pass. Stedman gets in the way of that pass. And that'll give the Canes a chance to reset defensively. Just a reminder, men's basketball action between Holland College and Crandall coming your way at 3 o'clock Atlantic time, about half an hour from now. Another game that's important to the standings in the men's side of the division. Off-balance shot by Ellie Hiltz drops. She's got 4 points in the second half. It's a 10-point Holland College lead once again. Armstrong. And on Lily, and again, Lauren Armstrong doing all she can. Worth noting, it had been 6 minutes since the last Crandall basket prior to that circus shot by Hiltz. So the Hurricanes have stepped it up defensively again in the fourth quarter. Chapman, long three-point shot was long. Stedman with another rebound. Stedman having a strong fourth quarter at both ends of the court for the Hurricanes. Bounce pass back for Talbot. Stedman swings it across to Armstrong. Armstrong in for Stedman. Nice feed. Quick release on the pass by Stedman out to Plaganoff, and Stedman. I was going to say that was a great effort crashing in for the rebound, but Stedman's going to get called for the foul. It's her fourth foul of the game. Holland up 12. They've led by as much as 13 in the game, but haven't really been able to pull away as much as they did yesterday. Again, this was a 35-point Holland College win yesterday. Stedman forcing another turnover. Again, that long reach of Molly Stedman disrupting a lot of traffic in the defensive zone. Plaganoff gets around Gaylord. Shot goes up off the front of the rim. Brown beats out a couple of Chargers for the rebound. Armstrong didn't see Stedman all alone in the corner, but it's Plaganoff in now. Can't get that shot to go, and again, it's going to be a foul on an offensive rebound for Holland. This time, Nikiva Brown called. So with just under 2 minutes left, timeout called by Crandall. 1:59 on the clock. Holland with a 12-point lead. Again, important game for both teams in the standings, but at opposite ends. Crandall looking to keep pace for the final playoff spot in the conference with UNBSJ. Holland looking to move to the very top. Again, tied with Mount St. Vincent right now. So a win would put them into first place, with Mount St. Vincent having a game in hand. Mount Allison, who sits alone in third place currently, would have 2 games at hand on Holland. But as mentioned previously, Mount Allison will be here in Charlottetown for a pair of games next weekend. Again, 2 o'clock on Saturday. You can tune in here on Holland Hurricanes TV for that one. 1 o'clock next Sunday. We are now in the stretch run, full steam ahead towards the postseason in the ACAA basketball season. Fisher, off-balance pass gets to Lilly. Wanted to get it back to Fisher, but Stedman was in the way. Now Lilly, looked like she was close to a travel there. Fisher finds a little bit of space, puts a shot up. Hiltz there for the rebound. Nice putback by Ellie Hiltz. She's got 6 points in the second half. Brown with it. Brown quickly back the other way, gets it to Stedman. Plaganoff calmly with a three-pointer. Mentioned she's had a quiet game offensively, but that could very well put it away with under a minute and a half here to go. Gives the Canes a 13-point lead. And we're going to get a jump ball called as, once again, it's Stedman causing chaos in the defensive zone for Holland College. Crandall, the recipient of the possession on the jump ball. Lilly to Gaylord. Gaylord puts up a three. That's well short. Struggling to find her groove in the second half after three-pointers in the second quarter for Audrey Gaylord. And Armstrong will bring the ball up the court. Again, Holland will probably be content to let a lot of this clock go down late in the fourth quarter. Nikiva Brown swings it out to Stedman. Long jumper. Stedman off the rim. Lilly with the rebound, but Brown gets in the way. Great hustle there by Brown to force the turnover. Armstrong for Stedman. All alone underneath the hoop. Molly Stedman. And that gives Holland their biggest lead of the game, a 15-point lead. And it couldn't have come at a better time in the final minute now. Lilly, jump shot. Nice shot by Lauren Lilly. She's had a nice second half as well. She's up to 12 points in the game. Turnover almost forced by Fisher. Hurricanes need to hustle to get it across half court, and they do. Plaganoff back up top for Armstrong. Over to Plaganoff. Quick release on the three, and Amy Plaganoff heating up at the right time. She's got three three-pointers in the game, 10 points now for Plaganoff. Here's Gaylord, another three-pointer off the rim, and Plaganoff will secure the rebound. And with a 16-point lead, Holland College and Carissa George with the dribble will be content to let the final 10 seconds run down. A really important win for Holland College. Battling back, this game was tied at half. Holland led by 3 to start the third quarter, but stifled the Crandall offense in the fourth quarter. And Lauren Armstrong and the Holland College Hurricanes move all by themselves into first place in the ACAA. They will return to action next Saturday against the Mount Allison Mounties for a couple of very important late regular season games. Stay tuned about 24 minutes from now. Men's basketball action between Holland College and Crandall right here in downtown Charlottetown. Thanks for spending some of your Sunday afternoon with us. We'll see you next time here on Holland Hurricanes TV.